Good evening, everybody. My name is Francesco Venier. Now you will see my face. There you go. And good evening also to my distinguished guests. Thank you, Nicola, for organizing this meeting. We are in MIB Lens, that is the series of webinars organized by MIB with Venture Factory on innovation and innovation-related organization, and to do the chance to meet a very important organization that is innovating manufacturing, is actually from early years. It's a Julie startup from McKinsey, and of the that if I'm mistaken, that is tonight. In theater in Pordenone, but you can tell more. So thank you, Nicole, listening. Thank you, Nicole Benfanty, also for joining us. And please, Nicola, can you tell something more and introduce our guests and also manage the session?
With pleasure, Francesco. So good evening, everyone. And again, thank you, Paolo and Nicole, for being with us, and thank for Francesco and MIB staff for organizing this webinar. This is a series regarding deep tech and how basically deep tech can transform organizations. We have been looking to several technologies, and this is actually the first time we don't have as guest a new technology or a startup company, but we have actually what we would refer as an infrastructure. This is actually an infrastructure that allows corporations to become more and more innovative and more competitive through innovation. We're talking about Lean Experience Factory, which is actually a joint venture between McKinsey and Un'Industria Pordenone. It was established in 2011, but we will hear more from our guest. Here we have ladies first, Nicole Benfanty. Nicole works in McKinsey after having actually graduated with her PhD in LEF. So she was actually educated with a doctoral studies in the Digital Capability Center Venice, and then she joined McKinsey, and she's now working in the digital capability centers in Venice and with Aachen, which is actually the other European capability center. Paolo Candotti, who is the managing director of LEF. He's also now serving as the chairman of one of the Fincantieri subsidiaries. So he is now in charge of interiors and manufacturing for all the ships which are manufactured by Fincantieri. Paolo has a long-lasting experience as a manager. He previously was an executive, HR executive in Electrolux, and then he became general manager for Un'Industria Pordenone. So let's say we have the two souls of LEF, the industrial one and the consulting one. And I have the first question for Paolo. I mean, we mentioned 2011, so LEF was established in 2011, nearly 10 years ago. So maybe next year we'll be celebrating 10 years of LEF. And Un'Industria was actually, as an industrial association, you have been a pioneer. Why did you decide to set up LEF together with McKinsey? And what do you see as the value that basically brought Un'Industria to set up such a facility for I mean, your associate and for all companies, industrial companies in Northeast Italy?
Well, thank you very much for inviting me to this webinar, and thanks also to Francesco and Nicola. And I go straight to try to reply to your question. And the story, of course, I will try to short the story, but the story began in 2009. We were at the beginning of the big crisis in Europe, and so in the local environment, the industrial environment in Pordenone and the surrounding, the local industrial association started to ask herself how to give some help to the companies that were struggling by this deep crisis. We at that time, we were in, I remember in 2009, we asked some consultancy firms to help us to try to design a plan, a 10 years plan. The name was Pordenone 2009-2019, and the aim of this study was to try to identify the guidelines of a recovery plan, or a strategic plan for all the land of Pordenone. That is one of the most intensive manufacturing lands and territory in Italy, one of the 15 provinces in Italy where the contribution to the GDP by the industry is higher than 35%. So the story went on with McKinsey. We chose McKinsey as consultant to make up this study. And the outcome and the evidence of this studies, this analysis was, one of the outcomes was that we had a strong, let me say, a deep gap in the competitiveness and the efficiency of our industrial system. An industrial system made by a few big companies and a large number, over 90% of middle and small enterprises that were that grew in the past with a fantastic growth path. But at the end of the story, they never invest a lot in their efficiency, internal efficiency, in models of efficiency based of the times. So the action to in order to overcome this gap in efficiency and productivity was to identify one place, one physical place where we can learn with a hands-on approach, with an experiential approach, how to manage the transformation in a lean way, using the lean methodologies to transform an industrial environment in one efficient environment without let me say, using the methodologies of lean manufacturing as a way to improve the efficiency of the factories, and the way to change also the mentality, the mindset of the entrepreneurs and their collaborators. So the decision was to invest in this place, in this infrastructure. Within this infrastructure, we build up a simple process that is very similar to the process that we can find in the small enterprises in the surroundings. And we use this place in order to show in practice how the methodologies learned in theory can apply in practice and can change the things very rapidly using this kind of path.
Thank you, Paolo. Nicole, so moving to the McKinsey half of LEF. Actually, LEF was, if not wrong, the first digital capability center among the network of DCCs in the McKinsey global arena. Now, what is the value that DCC are delivering to your customers, and where are actually all the DCC located? And are there any differences between the various DCCs that you have around the globe?
Yeah, thank you, Nicola, for asking. And let me clarify just one point. It might be that I have some internet connection. So if you see myself disappearing, I will then switch to the factory. So that's why I have my mask here and another microphone I'm wearing. So just to let you know that in case there are any audio connection, you know, I need to switch to the factory. So you're right, Nicola. We are among a McKinsey capability building center network. We were not the first one, but we were actually the second one. So we have a long history. And let me say that very briefly, we are a go-to place for experiential learning. So the value is exactly there, to have a practical, a tactical, a concrete environment where to test your capabilities and do it in a risk-free environment. So you have real machines, products, operators, a simple process, as Paolo was saying, that is enabling you to build your capabilities of execution, the transformation. So that's very important. And especially nowadays, where the need of upskilling and reskilling of the people in the companies is a must-have element, is a prerequisite needed for digital transformation, lean transformation, accelerated transformation in general, no matter the industry, no matter the dimension of the firm. And so that's why it is tremendously important for the firm, but also for local companies. So I really would like to highlight how we are serving, of course, McKinsey clients, but most of all, we are bringing our best practices to local companies. So that's why we are, as I love to say, global, so global and local at the same time. As you were mentioning, yes, we are in a network of capability building centers. So in total, we have more than 25 capability building centers around the globe. So from North America to Japan, among which just 10 of them are digital capability centers. Why is that? Because in these 10 centers, you can experience an end-to-end digital transformation. So, and in the DCC Venice, how we call it for the McKinsey clients, in the Digital Capability Center Venice, you have the chance to experience a transformation from the beginning till the end. So from the support function to the client. And what is even more powerful is that this kind of approach is available throughout the entire network. So the same value proposition, the same experiential approach is the experience that the client have in the different centers. And this is even more powerful and possible nowadays, thanks to COVID-19 that broke up all the geographical barriers and has led us to delivering not only in-person training, but also remote training. So this means having the chance for the participants to live an experiential capability building program via webinars, but having the same tactical approach with different locations involved. So recently, for example, we have done a PMP, a pharma client, together with Atlanta and Aachen, DCCs, all together with a different expertise and a different best practices.
That sounds very interesting. And actually, going back to your global statement, and I think that we are going to have a short visit after my next question to Paolo, a short visit of the factory. Now, going back to the local side of LEF, which is actually more, let's say, wider than we originally think, because this is actually the biggest model factory that we have in Italy. So it's something that was established in order to serve local customers in northern East Italy, but it's nowadays LEF is part of the various competence centers, Industry 4.0 competence centers, and not just Northeast Italy, but also the center competence center and the south one. So we are a national player. But Paolo, I mean, based on your experience as a manager, yourself as a manager of a medium big corporation, what would be the value that you will find getting into LEF?
Well, I think that the unique proposal that this place, this factory can give to a company is that in the same place, with the same competencies, with the same people, you can drive and you can give value and create value for a company in different ways. The first one is, of course, back to the origin of this factory. Goes to the main target and the main mission of this factory, that was to learn capabilities, to teach capabilities, so to allow entrepreneurs and their technical staff to understand the need for change, to understand the technicalities for change, to gain productivity and efficiency. During these 10 days, 10 years of experience, the factory had an evolution, and we kept all the lean transformation as a focus, but also we added some digital transformation as a new focus, because we link together all the traditional methodologies with the technology discovers and with the technology application in the factory field. So nowadays the transformation is not only the lean transformation that we can teach in the factory and that we can test in the factory, but also a complete digital transformation from for a company, not only for a factory. This is the evolution in the first, let me say, layer of this place. The second one is the consultancy, not only given by McKinsey, the partner of McKinsey, but given also by a team of consultants that were trained within the factory. And then in this way, through these consultants, we can add some value and add some activities after the training that we can make in the factory, going inside the companies, going inside the factories of our clients, and helping them to start the transformation, to start these programs of transformation and this program of improvement of their performances. The third layer and the third, let me say, business, also business unit or business driver for our factory is the test bed place. So a place where we can put together, link the innovation wherever it comes from. So that this can come from the universities, can come from the innovation centers. But the important thing is that we bring inside and we bring also the companies together in a safe place where to test innovations applied to the specific business and to the specific process of our clients. So these three branches of the factory complete an offer of real added value for the companies. So the training, so working on the competencies of people, working on the application and execution of transformation, and working also on the innovation and bringing the innovation of technologies to solve problems, practical problems and technical problems of our clients.
So we can basically describe LEF as a one-stop shop. So whenever you want to innovate your company through technology, and innovating means also making a change process within your organization, your process, etc. You have everything there. So you go from a test bed facility for innovative solutions, plus all the training, plus all the follow-up that can be done directly in the premises of your customer through consultancy. But we have been talking quite a lot about this facility. Maybe it's time to see that facility. So I think we now have Daniele Trevisan, who is one of the operators, together with Nicole at the shop floor level. Here it is, Daniele. Good afternoon, Daniele, and thank you for being with us. So can you just make, a short tour so that everybody will see what we have been talking about for quite a long time, and now we can definitely have a look to what this model factory is all about. Thank you, Daniele.
Yep. So First of all, welcome to Lean Experience Factory Training Center. My name is Daniele Trevisan, and I will introduce you the model factory behind me. This is a really working model factory. It allows the participant to apply the theory learned into the classroom directly in a real context. So in order to keep the remember rate high, we use 20/80 method. So it means that only the 20% of the time of the course we are used directly in the classroom. The remaining 80% of the time we are used to do exercise directly on the field. As mentioned before, this is a safe testbed environment, so the participant can learn by doing. So I think here you can find the operator, as I see behind me. You can find the operator, and thanks to this operator, participants are able to observe a real context, a real assembly line. And so thanks to this, the operator can give feedback to this to the participant, and based on their action and behavior in the shop floor. In this line are produced compressor for refrigerator. This product has been chosen in the past because you can find here in our territory, and it was very easily to adapt for educational scope. In this environment, participants can see an end-to-end lean and digital transformation. So thanks to this model factory can be configured based on the customer requirement. The factory, here in the factory, we was applying a lot of technologies, and this is because here in the real, this is a real production environment, and thanks to this, allow to the participant to understand better which is the solution they could insert in their firm. And so here they are able to see more than 30 use cases here in the factory.
Thank you, Daniela. It was, I mean, we do see.
Yep.
We see the whole production line. I've noticed also
Yep.
the cobots, the collaborative robots, just on your back.
Yep.
See basically milling machines, cutting machines. So it's really
Yep.
end-to-end production over there, plus all the other use cases regarding support functions, quality, R&D, etc. So it's more just the manufacturing line.
Yeah, actually, here it's a manufacturing line. Yeah, as I mentioned, there is a machining and assembly line, and here, yes, we have also a model office, and here we try to connect. The service ops and the manufacturing line, and here there is a connection directly in the same shop floor. Yeah, here.
And it was very important that you mentioned that actually working with real operators can also train people on how to deal with the difficulties of running a change management process at the shop floor level, dealing with real people, with real habits and their attitude towards innovation, whether those attitudes are positive or negative. So it's really a real life experience that you are showing to us. Thank you, Daniele. It was a very compelling presentation. Thank you so much. My last question goes back to Nicole. Nicole, I mean, I mentioned at the beginning you joined McKinsey soon after the PhD. So it's interesting. I mean, we're talking about manufacturing, but actually that is, there are several links between LEF and the world of research, innovation, startup, universities. And also what we have seen right now, it's what LEF as of today, but I mean, if I had an X-ray visor, I would have seen beyond the walls that there is a new development ongoing. So by next year, there will be a new LEF going on, and that would be just not just one company, but it would be a whole supply chain with different production lines linked together, plus the automated warehouse, plus R&D, plus everything. So just tell us a little bit about this link with innovation and the future plans of LEF.
Of course, happy to. And this is, let me say, very important because this is stressing one important step, that is, we are not focusing just on capability building. We are really focusing on, you know, how to be sure that we have the top edge technologies as well as the most advanced research and advancement from the digital and lean perspective. And this is bringing me to one important part, that is the strong connection we have at local and global level with the research institute, with the local tech players that are enabling us to stay on top of the market and understand, you know, which are the clients' needs, which are what companies are striving for, and which kind of challenges they are facing. As well as which are the talents that we might need as LEF, and we might bring to our clients to be sure that they are creating the right transformation path, and they are able to sustain their transformation effort. And that's exactly pardon, what we are also doing with the new building. So we are bringing together a pool of 15 plus people with different backgrounds. So we have PhDs, as I used to be. We have consultants. We have local technological players. We have professors joining the team. So it's a very brilliant and inspiring how we are bringing everything together to bring to the clients a completely new building, Industry 4.0 ready. And in order for that, maybe let me share my screen. And let me know if you can see my screen actually.
We do, Nicole.
Okay, perfect. Let me pull up the page then. So in this page, what you can see is a snapshot, basically, how the building will look like. So on the left part, you can see the rendering. So the new building is going to come very close to the existing shop floor. And this is exactly to showcase the continuation between the old facility, that is an Industry 4.0 brownfield facility, so that is become digital, with some solutions integrated on existing production lines, with a new building that is going to be Industry 4.0 from the construction. So the point here and the key objectives is basically try to showcase and to make participants live a transformation from an end-to-end perspective. So what we are doing is we are redesigning the product to be a smart product, so with sensors communicating data real time and with a digital customer service behind. We are including new lines to be more compelling from the industry perspective. So you have seen in the line, we have a compressor line that is a discrete line, but we are creating also a continuous line that will feed as a supplier the compressor line. And then, of course, we will expand the building with the new learning environments. So this means, as you can see from the right of the page, that we will have all the support functions included. The idea is to showcase to participants a digital company, not just small bites of the supply chain, of the value chain, but the end-to-end transformation. And this is, of course, bringing to our center more than 120 new digital use cases. As you might guess, this is asking us, of course, a lot of collaborations with the digital solution vendors, a lot of collaboration with the research institute to be sure that we are selecting the right solutions that is filling out the client's need. And let me say, this is, I like to say and to think that this is not a change in our business model, but it's more, you know, how we are renovating ourselves, how we are evolving ourselves to solve for new and emergent client needs in this challenging situation. seeing that, of course, we are not like in a very accelerated transformative environment, but we are also under COVID-19 restrictions. That is also what the center is doing right now. So understand how client can cope with this challenging situation.
Impressive rendering, Nicole. I would say we are, LEF is moving from 4.0 to 5.0 almost. God knows what 5.0 will mean. But I know that you also have a customer engagement in a few minutes. So I would like to know whether there are any questions from any one of the attendees for Nicole, so that she can join the meeting with her customer, and then leave the questions for Paolo later on.
Thank you, Nicola.
Feel free to ask your question without using the chat. Just open your microphone if you wish, and may address the question rightly.
Everything has been tremendously clear that no one has a few questions.
Okay, so if there are no questions for Nicole, definitely, Nicole, thank you, and please join your next meeting. Thank you for being with us. It was a pleasure, and thank you for your insights about LEF and McKinsey Digital Capability Centers.
Thank you, and feel free to reach out in case there are any further questions or any curiosity, and we'll be more than happy to answer to questions also separated to this webinar, of course.
Will do. Thank you. Thank you, Nicole.
Have a good one. Bye. Bye-bye.
And you. Bye-bye.
Bye, ciao. Grazie. Thank you.
Paolo, meanwhile, I'll ask you a question while maybe people have to warm up. I think that, I mean, Nicole mentioned COVID-19 as a situation where actually companies need also to rethink the way they work, the social distance, etc. But what we've also learned, and we're learning out of COVID-19, is that we definitely have to rethink probably our industrial footprint, and that would definitely link to rethinking the skills of our workforce and reskilling our workforce at any level. We have been talking many times about LEF as an opportunity for reskilling training. What are your thoughts about this?
Well, of course, this experience, the COVID experience, I mean, accelerated process and the change that was already ongoing. We felt this and we practiced this, of course, with a large use of smart working, but we call it smart working, but we only can say that we use a large amount of remote working. Instead, I think that what we can teach or help to understand in our facility in LEF is how to work also in let me say in administrative activities or office activity, traditional office activities in a different way, using technology, but also transforming some traditional activities that we are used to do in presence from a remote with a remote approach. Of course, we cannot say that everything can be done with remote working or with the large use of technologies, because at one time, as a human resources manager in my previous experience, but now also leading a company, what we missed in this period, of course, is also the team building dimension, the team dimension, the interchange from between people, and this can be more and more effective if you are in presence, if you manage projects also the interaction between people. But the evidence of this acceleration in COVID is that we were unprepared to manage the jobs and the work in a different way. Now we are learning, we are using technology in a more confident way, and we are also rethinking how to manage the business in some ways, and also how to manage the shop floor, to use technology in a clever way in order to, of course, to reduce costs and also to enrich also and give value to our productions, and also to be more smart using technology in a larger way.
Thank you, Paolo. Meanwhile, any other question?
Well, I have one. I'm not a participant, but what is the connection of LEF with all the system behind Industry 4.0 in Italy? I mean, the competence center. We as MIB are part of the digital innovation hub that born in LEF, with LEF as another funding partner a few years ago. So what's the connection? This ecosystem is developing now. SMACT is born, there is a new competence center in the Northeast. Are you active in this network?
Is for me the question? Yes, I can answer. I can try. Well, the system, the 4.0 system in Italy was designed differentiating the targets and the responsibilities. On one side, it's a matter of building competencies and try also to understand the trends of innovation and how to map these trends of innovation. And this is the main responsibility of the competence centers, in which different universities participate. The SMACT Competence Center that brings together all the main universities of the northeast of Italy is aimed mainly on this target of building new knowledge and mapping also the trends of innovation in Industry 4.0. Our role within the competence center, we are inside the competence center, the SMART Competence Center, and our role inside this is to be also a place where you can see and touch and understand the application of the technologies or digital technologies on field. And this is one unique, having one place like LEF is one unique opportunity also for the universities to show in practice what means entering in the Industry 4.0 world, in the digital transformation world. On the other side, the aim of putting together different entities in one digital innovation hub, this was the experience that we made together also with MIB and other entities and other institutions. The first target was to avoid that everybody and everyone, every institution start the same activities at the same time with overlapping of activities. We try to have a sort of management and differentiating the different responsibilities of the entities that we bring together, and they are linked together by a common mission, and the mission is to facilitate the transformation, the digital transformation of our company, our industrial system. So one brings managerial competencies, the other can bring technical competencies. The hub, the place, the infrastructure as LEF can bring also physical place where to apply and follow the execution and the transformation of a company from a digital point of view and from a lean point of view. So all together with a common mission, with a let me say a plan that is shared, can ensure a better result instead of complicate things and overlapping activities without any efficiency, of course, and without effectiveness in this goal.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
Francesco, unless there are other questions, I would leave the floor to you for the final remarks.
Okay, so thank you, Paolo, and also Nicole, even if she had to go. I think LEF is a very important institution in our region, and it's a good chance to. This video will remain also in our website in the series of MIB Lens, because I think this is a very important. It's more than experiment already. It's a I think more than 10-year-old experience with proven results, and it's very important for creating the awareness of the practical aspects implied in Industry 4.0, not only lean, but also the mindset transformation that you need to get the advantages you can get from these technologies. So thank you very much, and congratulations, Paolo, for your bright idea as a founder of this. I remember when it started, and thank you, Nicola, for joining us and giving us the opportunity to talk about this. We are also partnering with LEF for educational programs, so we look forward to other opportunities very soon. Thank you, Paolo. Thank you, Nicola.
Thank you to all.
Thank you, Francesco.
Thank you, everybody, for joining us. I take
the opportunity. Sorry, Francesco. The opportunity also to invite everybody to the inauguration of the new factory. We plan to end the construction by the end of this year. So maybe more or less in January, February, we will be ready to show you what we are building now, and also to make the next step and the next evolution of this fantastic place.
Thank you very much again.
We'll be there.
I will be there for sure. Yeah.
Thank you all.
Bye bye.
Goodbye.
Bye bye.
Bye. Thank you.